Everyone, it's Susan. Oh, what a week it's been. It's the 12th of August 2020, and I wanted to talk to you about the end of the Lionsgate energy. So we had this portal of energy that opened up on the 8th of August, and it's been a huge few days. And sometimes it's only in retrospect that we can look at life and we can understand exactly what the lessons are. And I really believe that this year we're being given so many opportunities to go back and look at what the lessons are. So it's so curious that about a week ago, just before the Lionsgate, I was feeling extremely emotional. And emotional to the point where I just burst into tears for really no reason at all. And it wasn't until I was talking to a friend this morning and she was saying to me, what about the bomb that had happened in Beirut? And I wasn't even aware that it had happened because I hadn't seen it on the news, and I watch very little television. So it actually made so much sense to me as to why I was feeling so emotional. And that actually happened on or around the anniversary of Hiroshima. So a blast that has happened. Now blasts break things open, and sometimes we feel like we're being cracked open. I know that's how I was feeling a week ago. And I feel that this whole period that we're going through at the moment is breaking open so many things. It's breaking open structures. It's caused, there is destruction, and there's destruction on our planet at the moment in so many ways. But the destruction that's happening is so that we can rebuild, and so that we can look at the structures that we've got and say, well, are they the structures that we really want? So for you in your life, it would be looking at the structures that you have in your life and saying, is this the kind of structure that I actually want to have? And I feel that this last few days has been intense in the aspect of emotions up and emotions down, always to that point of understanding that for something to happen, to shift and to change, sometimes there has to be a letting go of our logical mind. We have to let go of thinking. And I feel that there's been lots and lots of exhaustion. So many of you have been talking to me and messaging me and saying, I'm so exhausted, what's going on? I have all these aches and pains, what's going on? I'm feeling sad and I'm thinking about things that I haven't thought about for years, what's going on? So what's going on is a clearing, it's a purging. And we're going through probably one of the biggest purges in our history of humankind. When you look at this world that we live in, this is the most advanced technological age that we know of. Now, I often think there's been more advanced civilizations than ours, and that somehow we've messed it up before. Well, this is our opportunity not to mess it up again. We've got leaders in the world that are not serving. And earlier in the week, I did a reading in one of my Facebook groups, and the message was about love, that love was important, and so was laughter. But it also talked about being in service. And one of the things I realized is that often as a medium and somebody that speaks a lot on the energy that's happening, I can tend to go into my own little bubble when I'm going through my own processes. And then what I realized is that when I do that, everybody else is doing that in their own way. And to be in service means not just to hide away, but to actually speak about things as they're coming up, but not from a victim mentality, but from a space of curiosity and a space of sharing and saying, well, if this is coming up for me, then surely it's coming up for other people. So what I see that's coming up is this sense of doing things differently, not being so hard on self, questioning those that are in leadership, and also saying, how can I take responsibility for my own health and my own well-being? Now that's been a theme all the way through the year, and I believe it will continue to be a theme. You see, when all the distractions are gone, so you can't go to the theme parks, you can't go to the movies, some of you can't go out, you can't go to restaurants, you can't go and shop except for essential items. So therefore, life comes back to introspection and dealing with what's just around you. Now, if you are in that situation where you are completely restricted, I just encourage you to listen to as much positive information as you can, to use music to bring you a sense of balance and harmony, to look at writing and creating and getting into something that will help you move into this recreation of our world. It really is a time of recreation. It's a time where we're being surrounded, I see, by lots of loving angels and guides. And I know that they're saying to us, you'll get through this, but we've all got to stand together. And so many times that I look at the news and I look at things, I often just, there's a thing on your phone where you can see what the headlines are. And what I'm seeing is here in Australia, they're saying things like we might shut our borders for 18 months. And we're starting to see division. We're starting to hear people say, those people shouldn't come here. They should stay where they belong. These people from this country shouldn't come here. So there's all this division that's happening in the world. And I believe that until the world is ready to stand together, that we're not going to find a cure. We're not going to find answers. Because the answer has to be, you're my neighbour and how can I help you? But I have to help myself first. So all of us, we have to help ourselves first. We have to be willing to look at what we can do. So we have to deal with our niggles. We have to deal with our pain. We have to deal with our physical bodies. And we have to look at the ways that we can really support ourselves through this crisis. Because I believe it's a crisis like none we've ever had. But I also know it's an opportunity like none we've ever had. And I know for myself, I go through those ups and I go through those downs. But one thing I've realized is there has to be a voice of reason and a voice of spirit. And you have a voice of spirit. There is a voice inside you that's guiding you always to your highest truth. And what you have to do is learn how to listen to it and let that voice of spirit guide you to whatever it is that you need to do, whatever you need to understand. I'm talking to people that I talk to. So I'm talking to people who are looking for answers. And I had a beautiful conversation with someone today, and they said, I've realized that all the time I've distracted myself, and I don't want to keep distracting myself because the pain is still there underneath. And whatever is underneath, it's always going to rise up. Now, it might not rise up in this lifetime, it might be in another lifetime. But if you're willing to, you can do so much in this lifetime to be truly joyful, truly happy, and truly free. You have to be willing at some level to experience a little bit of pain in order to let things go. So get that connection back with your guides, connect back to your joy. And even if it's in your mind, that you can think about those things that you did used to do that were much simpler. Things like riding a bicycle, sitting down by the water or in a park, just watching a sunrise or watching a sunset, being able to talk to the birds and maybe tend the flowers on your balcony or in your garden. There are so many things you can do that will connect you back to spirit and connect you back to your heart. I would strongly suggest that you don't watch a lot of what's going on, but that you hold the world in an energy of light. I believe at this point in time there are frequencies that are happening for us, higher frequencies that are coming in. So this last 4 days of the Lionsgate, the 8th of August to the 12th, today's the 12th, it's been a huge purging and clearing. If you want new information to come in, sometimes you have to let the old thought patterns out. And by letting the old thoughts out and recognizing them, releasing them in your dreams, releasing them when you cry, releasing them when you get angry, you're just going to make way for this gentle new energy that's coming in. And I believe the energy that's coming in, I keep being shown this energy of people holding hands together and standing firm. So that means not just Black Lives Matter, but all lives matter. And yes, I know that there's been huge discrepancies in our world, huge injustices in our world. But we have to stand together, and we have to stand for that middle ground. We have to stand for justice is justice, no matter what the colour. So this is about a time of really reconnecting to the balanced view of life, letting go of prejudices, letting go of divisions, and saying, how as a community, a worldwide community, can we begin to bring this world that is struggling so badly, how can we bring it to healing? How can we bring it to peace? and what bit can we do? I was watching something recently, I think it was on I think it was ABC, and it was about the plastics, and there was a chap from India that was recycling plastic. And it was showing all of these scenes in Indonesia and different parts of the world where they were supposed to be recycling plastic, but they weren't. And they were taking on the waste from the rest of the world because there was a financial gain to do that. Now, this gentleman has a financial interest in recycling plastic, but he was doing it with integrity. He took everybody into the plant that he was using and showing us how he was recycling that plastic to be used again. And I believe that that's what's got to happen in this world at this point in time, that no matter what business you're in, no matter what you do, you can still do it with soul, you can do it with integrity, and you can do it with a sense of, how can I make the world a better place for everybody else? Not everything has to be about financial gain. There can be things that we do altruistically, that we do from our heart, and that you have knowledge to share, you have wisdom to share. And I am delighted at the moment because I'm starting to see a few of the people that I know that are starting to step up and speak out more. And I really believe that this is a time where we could flood the world with positive videos, positive affirmations, positive acts of kindness and community. And there are so many people out there that are acting for us, our responders, that, you know, the Beirut blast, so many firemen again, injured, critically injured and mortally wounded in some cases. So we have these people that give their lives of service, and their lives have been taken. And yet when there are riots and things, you know, our beautiful police force, they're at the front line. And I think we've just got to wake up. This is an awakening. It's an awakening of humanity. But we've got to wake up and be sensible and be kind and recognize that this world is so, so, so precious. And at the same time, it's fragile. Now, I've always said, the world will survive. The earth will survive. It's a matter of whether we will. And we will survive as a species when we start to take care of ourselves and look at what we consume, look at what we do, look at what we consume inwardly. And it's easy at the moment to get involved in conspiracy theories. I'm not a conspiracy theory person, because for all the conspiracy theories I hear, I say if there was that much energy going into that, the people that are supposed to be running these conspiracies, to me, they've got so much money anyway. Why would they want to do more? I just think you have to look at the common sense of things, or not. But the only thing you can change is your attitude, your belief, your feelings, your thoughts, your experiences. So I really believe that this Lionsgate has been huge. The portal closes today, but does the learning stop? No, it doesn't. But for those of you that have been open, new seeds have been planted in you. Seeds of determination, seeds of belief, and seeds of a realization that this world needs you. It needs you, it needs your strength, it needs your love, it needs your wisdom. So I encourage you that whatever you're doing, to know that it is valuable. If you are a light worker, if you are a healer, if you are somebody that's a first responder, if you are somebody that's trying out there to make the world a better place in what you're doing, keep doing it. And don't fall into that space of who needs me, who's going to listen to me. Because until everybody that has a message speaks up, until everybody that has something to offer offers it, the world will stay at this very imbalanced state. So that's my bit for this beautiful time. And I look forward to sharing more of what comes through, but really encourage you to be that person that tunes into your heart, tunes into spirit. And by the way, if this video has touched you in any way, just encourage you to share it, because it's only through sharing that people will hear another point of view. So I'm Susan Kennedy, Liaison to Your Soul. I look forward to sharing more with you. Bye for now. I hope that was